Human is the fantastic motion picture record of the search for the mountain creature of Asia, whose name has become a symbol of terror and mystery. The abominable snowman. This is the claw that reaches out to kill. And this is the footprint in the snow, so astounding that scientific laboratories throughout the world are rocked by its startling impact.
This is a mold taken from the footprint found outside the cabin door. By measuring the width, the length, and the depth of the print, their composite picture described the species as being 9 feet tall and weighing around 1,800 pounds.
What did Tanaka say?
Well, he was convinced in his mind that the hair follicle was closer to that of man than to that of any other animal known to exist.
Now you can follow the relentless pursuit of the half-human monster whose earth-rocking fury broke the torturing bonds of his civilized tormentors. Half-human, he learned the terrifying power of fire over the natives who worshipped him. Half-human, he set off an avalanche of destruction against the invaders of his mountain kingdom. Half-human, he still felt the surging need for human love.
Here am I, Jackie Frost, quick and spry. Listen to me while I say. Summer's gone, play no more, for winter's knocking at your door. Better go and store your food away.
Thanks, Mr. Jackie, for your advice. We'll hurry home to our wives.
We'll have our cupboards filled with supplies when Old Man Winter arrives.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to care. My coat is very furry. I'm a grizzly bear.
If you meet Old Man Winter, you'll sing a different tune. It's time that you were safe in bed, for he will be here soon.
have a care. Old Man Winter's in the air. You'll be sorry if he catches you.
I don't have to worry. I don't have to care. My coat is very furry. I'm a frizzly grizzly bear.
Maggie ho, bootin' beatin' bottle, scootin' boodle bay, scooted, babba doodle ho, booty booty, honky boodle bo, boodle doodle day. Boom, 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 Maggie, Haggy, Saggy, Biggie, Haggy, Oogie, Loogie, Boogie, Sticky, Haggy, Bob, Boodle Day, Skittit, Babba, Boodle, 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 Babba,
I don't have to worry. I don't have to care. My coat is very furry. I'm a frizzly grizzly bear.
So you would run away from home.
You would roam all alone. I told you not to leave your home, but you're a frizzly grizzly bear.
Gee, Mr. Frost, I'm sorry. Oh, help me out, please do. Take me home to my nice warm bed. I'm freezing through and
Look out! Where, Hut? Where? There!
The abominable snowmen. High in the desolate Himalayas, scientists have reported a species of half-man, half-beast. Articles on them have appeared in Passion, Popular Science, True, and Newsweek magazines.
This story of the perils encountered by an expedition searching for these creatures brings to the screen one of the most exciting motion pictures ever made.
You're jumpy, Hud.
All day I've had the feeling someone was watching us, trailing us.
Passions explode violently as a man fights for survival and a woman's love against the never-ending terror of primitive isolation, astounding dangers that stagger the imagination, breathtaking thrills and spectacular action against the towering peaks 21,000 feet above the earth. Excitement thunders from the screen as powerful elements burst forth in all their fury to destroy the men who dared to invade the icy stronghold of the abominable snowman.
Good evening, goblins and ghouls, and welcome to the Friday Night Scream Stream. I'm your host, Spakenstein, and I'm joined to get back in the saddle again, back from his sabbatical, my very good friend, the Rad Dad himself, Evan Sink, back in the house. How we doing tonight, Evan?
I am great. So great to be back. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Scream Stream. We're back.
We're
Here
back.
we are.
Whoop, whoop. We did it.
We're in the house.
Yep, in the house after, I guess it's been a few weeks for you, Evan.
It's been like five or 6 weeks that I've been off the show. It's like half the season. I've missed it. And I hate I've missed out. I think I had a pretty good excuse if anyone ever.
Yeah,
did,
you
but...
might say just a little, bit of importance.
Again. I've got a new roommate. Very high maintenance.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you gotta look out, man. Those infant roommates. Those are the horror stories you always hear about. Those are the ones you got to keep your eye on. So Evan, yeah, we're happy to have Evan back after a few week long sabbatical. He's got to modulate. He's got to be considerate, obviously. But
right, yeah. I'm gonna try to be nice and I'm gonna try to not wake up my baby. So if I'm whispering my way through this show and the next few shows, that's why.
It's okay.
Do a little scream. Do a little scream ASMR.
Well, hey, you know what? I can be loud over here for Evan. I can celebrate Evan being back, and I can be loud about it. And you know what else I can celebrate loudly for the both of us is our channel's milestone that we hit yesterday. Thanks to everyone watching tonight. In no small part, we reached 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop,
hey, we did it. We did it.
Mission accomplished. And when I tell you it's been we're almost done with our third year of this show. We've been doing this show for 3 years. This
snowball's picked up. It's been a long way, but it's picked up some snow.
Where I think public domain horror movies are just catching on. I think people are finally picking up what we're putting down.
We picked up 1,000 snowflakes.
That's what it is. Yeah, there we go. And that's what it takes to make a snowball. And that's also no small part, recently our friends from the Drunk Review who have been joining us here on Friday nights, coming over from the drive-in, been having a lot of fun with you wise guys and gals, joking, laughing, and It's been good to, like I said when they first joined us, bringing them into our living room, right? That's what we kind of got here as like a live. And Evan now literally,
Well, you're literally in my living room.
literally in Evan's living room. So we're bringing you the full experience. So we're stoked though, and we're happy everybody's here. Obviously, our the I'm gonna call you the day one crew, even though it's like a while. But Kathy, Alana, Sears, y'all are always happy to see y'all, and of course, a lot of y'all have been joining us the past couple weeks. Noah and I think Mac, and it's been a good time. It's been fun, and we're just doing what we do over here, enjoying public domain horror movies. And that's the thing. Even though Evan's been gone, Evan's been keeping up to an extent, right?
Yeah, I'm not completely caught up, but I have been trailing behind. I've been picking up, watching the movies that I missed since I've been out. I've watched 2 of the 5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I watched How Awful About Alan and Keep My Grave Open, both of which ended up being kind of similar movies, right?
Right. Yeah, kind of. It's funny that you pointed that out, because I think we, at the end of Keep My Grave Open, we realized that, oh, wait a minute, these movies were very similar.
Yeah. So I watched those basically back to back, and it was just. I think I liked How Awful About Alan a little more, but both pretty entertaining movies, I thought.
Right. Yeah, they're a good time. And you got some other good ones. Again, last week's movie we had a good time with, Torture Ship, and again, I think we picked a good week for you to join us, be back with us, because we try to. I try to do parallels between our seasons of the show, and depending on the time of year. So what I've tried to do when we get late January, I'm all right, I gotta find a Yeti or an Abominable Snowman. I gotta find a winter themed movie, because it's the time of the year that
we're in it.
We're in it.
We're in the dead of winter.
We're in the dead of winter. So I like to get thematic with it. So tonight we're bringing you not just any Yeti film, the first Yeti film. Caveat on that, but we'll get into that tonight. There's a little bit of caveat. It's technically kind of the first Yeti film, and it's actually
Do you mean, is it the first film about Yetis, or the film about the first Yeti?
Literally, this Yeti hatches out of an egg, and he's the first Yeti, right? And
it slithers out of the ocean and grows legs.
Right. And Sears, it's funny that you say that, because it is fairly mild where we're at too. So I was a little bummed, because I was hoping to time this movie up when it would be cold out. But it's okay. I've been cold all day. I've been shivering and running cold. So I'm wearing I got my sweater on for the occasion. Because we're watching Snow Creature, as you can see. And we have we have seen one for sure yet. We've seen a couple Sasquatch films. We've only seen one Yeti film before. This time last year, when we watched Snow Beast, which we had a lot of fun with. And it's kind of a Jaws kind of a thing, and you didn't see a lot of the Yeti, but it was still good. So tonight we've got more of a 50s B-movie sci-fi presentation. I don't know how much we'll see the Yeti, but we'll kind of get into that. Yeti movies kind of play around with how much of the Yeti do we show. It's a thing. So we'll talk about that tonight.
It blends in, so it's hard to see to begin with.
That's a good point. It's just natural camouflage, right? So yeah, I think it may be a while. We'll see how long it takes here. But we've got some interesting stuff about the Yeti in this film, and of course we've got a connection to some Hollywood to a Hollywood icon tonight. Now the movie isn't produced and directed by a Hollywood icon, but it is produced by the brother of a Hollywood icon. So that's you know, you gotta hope there's some promise there, right? But we'll see. This comes from the brother of Billy Wilder, who was a famous writer and director, a lot of iconic Hollywood films. But even before tonight's film, like Billy Wilder had already done.
Do they put that on the poster or like the?
Right,
like
from the brother of Billy Wilder.
Produced by the brother of Billy Wilder.
I mean, I don't know that we'll talk about we'll talk about their relationship tonight, all that, and because W. Lee Wilder, it's kind of confusing, but that's the producer director of the tonight's film, W. Lee Wilder. You know, he did a few sci-fi B movies, and you know, obviously in the shadow of his brother, who was writing and directing Oscar-winning films like Double Indemnity and The Lost Weekend and Sabrina, and it just he like we'll talk more about it. But so we got interesting stuff. We're very excited for it, and of course, as always, Evan, now that he's back, he's bringing us some interesting stuff because when he's here, he brings us a delicious cocktail to pair with the evening's film and a little segment which he calls.
What were you drinking?
Oh, it's so good to hear you say that, Evan, after a long hiatus. What are we drinking tonight?
Gosh, I haven't said that in about a month and a half. So tonight we're diving into the snow with the abominable snowball. So tonight we're celebrating both the first Yeti movie and the brother of Billy Wilder, but we're also celebrating the maligned brother of the beloved Twinkie, the Snowball. Yeah.
Oh, that's all, bro. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I just got it.
So hopefully everybody's had a chance to try, these little delicious little coconut balls. I like them. I guess not everybody does. Not everybody likes coconut, which
yeah, that's if
we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to make your own abominable snowball, you'll need coconut rum, creme de cacao, coconut cream, marshmallow cream, and just a little bit of red food dye. We're going for pink. So I planned on blending this. I'd actually planned on blending this mixture and then pouring that over more shaved ice, so it was really like a real snowball.
Yeah.
But I've got a baby in the other room, so I'm not gonna do that. I just put it in my shaker and I'm gonna gently invert it so I don't wake the kid up.
Oh, this is like a whole challenge in and of itself. It's like don't wake the baby. Like, we gotta have a new segment. That's what this segment has got to be retitled now, because usually it does involve you like banging something around, knocking something, shaking something, and now you're challenged. You're
slam a car door.
But you're right. I mean, so foolish me didn't realize by the snowball reference that he was referencing the snack. I didn't pick that up till he said it, and I made the graphic. So I get it now, but I do, as Evan said, I do kind of have like I'm picky. All right, if you've been watching the show a while, you know I'm picky.
We got a picky host.
I'm right. Yeah, it's what are you gonna do? So I made us some substitutions with the coconut. Instead of coconut rum, I went with banana rum. So like give it a little bit of a different vibe. And I had the creme de cacao, and then I already told Evan this because this was not the proper substitution. But instead of the coconut milk, I, just because it was right beside it, chose sweetened condensed milk. So it's a little thick. I don't think
Okay,
that,
going for a banana cream kind of deal.
Right. Yeah, that was kind of what I happened upon. So, but unfortunately, it looks like this, which it definitely does not look good in my camera. But it is pink. Looks a little white here, but it's pink, and the marshmallow didn't really mix up the fluff, so it's just kind of floating like an iceberg in there.
Okay. So that's Garrett's.
Oh
Here's
my
mine.
god, yours is gorgeous. That's why I told Evan, I said, I didn't make the cocktails when he was gone because I leave it to the professionals, because this is what happens when I mix it, and now look at Evan's. And that's what you get when a professional mixes the cocktails, because it's his segment. So, two different looking beverages, but we'll see.
I'm very interested to see how yours is gonna taste.
Me too.
Cheers, everybody. Happy to be back. Welcome all the new faces. Glad to see all the old faces. Here's to the movie. Here's to the Scream Stream.
Cheers. I'm gonna be honest. That's fucking delicious.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's probably just because I put a whole bunch of this sweet, thick milk in it. Sugar milk. I think that's probably why it's banana cream. That's like legit what and it's got a little afterbite though. I'm feeling like a little bit of a kick to it. So
I think all your alcohol might be on the bottom.
It might. I think it probably is. I'm afraid to eat the marshmallow at the very end, because that's what I'm gonna have to do. Like, I'm not gonna get, like, maybe I nibble off little pieces as we go, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But hey, I'm digging it. It tastes good. I think it's gonna put me in that winter landscape that we're about to traverse.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I have a question. I have a question for the folks at Hostess. Why are they pink?
That's
Don't eat the pink snow.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. What do you think? It's like, it's just soap. It's just got soap in it. You know, like that pink soap.
You got those. Like hard water. You got hard snow.
Right. Yeah.
I got that Himalayan salt snow.
That's what it is. Right. Exactly.
It's pink.
Pink. Yeah, it just sounds like some kind of drug, honestly. Pink snow. Did you do any of the pink snow recently?
That's this week's episode of Law and Order. The kids are calling it pink snow.
Dun, dun. As they walk away.
It's coconut cream and red food dye. They snort it.
And I already told Evan the red food dye. Like, I opened a new one, and now I look like I've committed murder. So, again, very appropriate for what we're doing here. But we're about to get into it. This is Snow Creature. I haven't seen it. Yeah, none of these this season I've seen, and we always love that. Because it leads to surprises, like last week's film, which was like a underrated gem. Like maybe not gem. Maybe I'm going a little far saying gem, but I thoroughly enjoyed last week's film. I can't hear you, Evan. You're out there, but that's all right, and you'll get it worked out. But yeah, I mean, he really did have like kind of a unique like feel last week. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, but it was great. So tonight's film, the reputation from what I've heard leaves a little to be desired, but we'll see. We'll have fun with it either way. So very excited for the Snow Creature. And I know, Evan, you're working it out. And I'll tell them, Evan, so they know he is on a Mac, which he doesn't normally use. And so he's also got the challenge of trying to figure out what the hell he's doing. So He'll get his audio worked out. But I think, well, I will soft shoe for Evan because I can't start the movie until so don't worry, Evan, I'll soft shoe for you. But again, this is from Billy Wilder's brother W. Lee, which I think which you're like, why are those names are basically the same. Billy Wilder, Billy was a nickname.
Hello.
Oh, I hear you. We hear you. You're there.
Okay, I'm back.
He's
okay,
back. He's back. Okay.
Evan
wouldn't be back. It wouldn't be the Scream Stream if there weren't some technical difficulties. So
I just had to turn it off and turn it back on again.
Classic. So, all right, enough of my soft showing. Evan, if you've got it queued up.
I do.
All right, then without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting beginning of Snow Creature right now.
Cradled in the arms of the rivers Ganges and Rampur to the south,
A documentary.
and the mysterious plateau of Tibet to the north, majestically stands the mightiest mountain range on the face of the earth, the Himalaya. This is the story of an expedition to this rugged barrier, not to assault on its windswept towering heights, but to find and study plant life, which had heretofore been unknown or inaccessible. This is the story of that mission, of how a small group of people found themselves in pursuit of a crude and primitive civilization, which once only existed as a figment of the imagination.
Nice setup. Ooh, okay. Snowstorm and lightning. Pop, pop, pop. It's coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Ah!
Starting from Los Angeles, California, and after careful study of the region, the first leg of the expedition took me to Bombay, India.
Bombay. Is Bombay even a place anymore? Is that still... I don't know my geography. I couldn't tell you. Taking it easy.
From there, I proceeded to the town of Shekhar, the last settlement before entering the wilderness of rock and ice.
Nice. Okay. Bumbles. Yeah, I guess that's the other technical term.
There, I selected 10 Sherpa natives to serve as porters. My name is Parrish, Dr. Frank Parrish. By profession, I am a
Why they live in the tall mountains,
working for
because
the
they just
Corey
bounce.
Foundation. To record the visual log of our expedition, I engaged Peter Wells, well qualified to serve as a photographer.
Well, yeah, it got
As
well
our
in his
guide,
name.
I hired
So.
Subra, the only English-speaking Sherpa acquainted with the terrain.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully
One of these
not.
men is
Only
secretly
the
a
most essential
Yeti.
equipment was selected
Which one
and
of these
distributed
men?
among the members of our party. All preparations completed and everything on schedule, at noon on June 14th, we set out to strike at the mountain. Subra's young wife, Tala, and his brother Leva accompanied us to the foot of the mountains before saying goodbye.
Well, they're just moving right through. No exposition. We don't need to hear them talk. Let's get the narrator going. Let's just power right through all this. It's not important.
Characterization. Who needs that?
That's what narrators are for.
We'll just skip all that. Very efficient movie.
Well, there might be a reason
The first
the
days
writer
were
was
uneventful,
partial to
monotonous,
narration.
tedious.
Which we're talking about Billy Wilder's brother There's more nepotism in this production, or actual nepotism.
But as we moved on to higher regions, the terrain became more rugged and difficult.
Okay. There's no conflict. He's just telling us everything that's happening.
It does really just feel like a documentary. This is just the Blair Witch.
Yeah. This is the 50s version
We
of the Blair
continued on
Witch.
to a height of 10,000 feet above sea level, where I wanted to commence my work. At last on the day, we reached the plateau region.
Super, have your men pitch the
tents.
Watch where you're going.
Up to this point, having established only temporary camps, everyone was eager for our first hot meal. Camp 1 was now well
There's
established.
no way this narration was originally. They're just like,
Except
this
for a
story's
variety
moving
of
way too
common
slow.
moss and crucifer flower, we found little of interest. But we decided to comb the area more thoroughly for the next few days.
How about a shot?
How about a shot? Hell yeah! If I'm climbing Everest, you know I'm gonna be hammered.
Everything all right?
Otherwise, what's the
Everything's
point?
fine, Super, thank you.
Alcohol good? Fine. Yeah, help yourself.
Help yourself. This is chocolate syrup.
Well, I'm no doctor.
Is this Bosco?
Take a swig of this Bosco.
Oh, thank you, Super.
It's the 50s. We all keep a little can of Bosco on us. Need that little
shot.
hit of chocolate, a little shot.
Wonderful tonic. Warms up the gizzards.
Keep that up and you'll
Yeah.
kill your gizzard.
Warms up
Yeah.
the gizzards.
Wells, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't hand out that stuff to any of the men, and don't drink in their presence, understand?
Okay, suits me.
Wells, you know what I really
Shekar,
do
come
well?
in.
Drink.
Come in, Shekar. This is Dr. Parrish.
This is Shekar. Yes, doctor.
Let me speak to Inspector Karma, please.
We'll get Inspector Karma.
What?
That night, all
That's
seemed well.
something
in the
interesting
town of
happening, and
Shekar.
then they just, all right, this isn't important.
Do you think Dr. Parrish is going to survive?
No, he's dead. He's dead.
He's already gone.
He's already dead.
True to his name. It's a family tradition.
I'm a parish, and my father before me perished. My father before him. Whoa!
Oh,
Okay, look, we got some Yeti action early. Whoa.
all right.
All right. I know that was just like a jump frame, but it was still like he just disappeared. Like,
Yeah,
it's good.
He walked off into a snowstorm, invisible.
It was effective.
Yetis can just turn invisible.
Right. I mean, you know, all cryptids have mastery of space and time. We all know this. They're coming to collect. Or wait, no, are they leaving? Oh, shit.
This is a mutiny.
Hey, Jenna's in the house. Welcome, Jenna. Drop my phone and now I'm trying to pick it up without moving from my spot.
Mr. Doctor, 早速 Mr. Doctor に言うよ。
I gotta stretch more. Ah, cramp.
Uh-oh.
Alright.
Mr. Doctor. Mr. Doctor.
Oh, Super, what is it?
Yeti. Yeti, Mr. Doctor. Huh? Yeti.
What's all the
Yeti.
noise?
My brother Riva. He come with 4 men.
They followed us all the way up here. What do they want?
Brother say, Yeti steal my woman, Tara. We leave. Go after Yeti.
Yeah, buddy, get in line. How many guys have had their women
Yeti,
stolen by
creature of
Yetis?
Snow giant.
Oh, you mean the abominable snowman, the phantom of the Himalayas, marauder of women.
We go after Yeti. Find him.
Has the Yeti always been known as a marauder of women?
Stories about it from time to time, but
They're going after it though. Hell yeah, I'm about it.
Story. This isn't a hunting party. Thousands of dollars have been spent to finance this expedition, and he wants to chase a legend.
Mr. Doctor, Yeti real, Mr. Doctor.
No one's ever seen one. Oh, I know people have brought back stories about these semi-humans.
Oh, the whole thing sounds fantastic.
Brother say, Yeti steal Tara.
So you're gonna come with us? No, I mean it sounds
Have your
fantastic.
brother and his men join us if they want to, but we have other work to do.
Would he just take another swig of that bottle? This apparently is actually filmed in Washington
because of my decision,
State.
I felt that Subra resented and disliked me.
Okay.
Obviously, they didn't have a budget to go to the Himalayas.
Oh, they couldn't finance an expedition for this movie?
Don't think so. I also don't think they're using any like pre-existing like footage. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I guess in a way they did finance an expedition to wherever in Washington.
Yeah, I mean you still, you know.
You gotta haul those cameras and stuff out there. You gotta get Yeti.
Well, apparently W. Lee Wilder made his money to be able to produce his own movies. Made his money in purses in New York, and then moved to Hollywood.
Okay. Purse man.
Purse man, and then that then you get all the money because purses.
What do you think's going on?
There's a joke there.
Well, you have a place to put all your money.
That sounds like
Right.
Subra trying to be very important.
I better find out.
And apparently all these actors playing the Sherpas are Japanese, and they're speaking Japanese. So.
Subra!
I mean, again, American audiences in the 1950s.
Well,
They gonna be able to tell this isn't the Himalayas?
what do you mean?
Subra, I want to talk to you.
Talk.
What's the meaning of this? I gave no order to break camp.
You move.
I'll tell you when to move.
We move now.
Subra, what's come over you? You sent some of our men away, didn't you?
Only 4 our men. Other 4 belong Brother Lever.
Concerned with our men, now come back.
They look this side of the mountain. We look the other side for Yeti.
I'll shoot any man who doesn't obey.
Uh-oh.
You know can shoot.
Oh.
Empty, they're taking our cartridges.
Sir,
Got
this is
him.
mutiny. So take guns.
Mutiny.
You got.
Where do you intend to look for this creature?
Well, I guess you don't have to have an
Everybody
actual
look,
ship.
Rocky Valley Legion.
You just need a group of
That's
people for there to
ridiculous.
be a
But
mutiny.
it's not equipped for that kind of thing.
Subra don't care.
Yeah, this is kind of a ship.
May as well let them go. There's no point in our following.
You
along.
you put somebody in an
Welcome back.
igloo, and that's the
Back.
brig.
No can find a way. We move now.
Well, I think I need a drink.
Well, oh,
more
big
than that.
surprise.
Wait a minute. What about the radio?
By Jove, that's an idea.
He's gonna blow through all his Boscos at this rate.
Get packed. We move right away. Come on. Come on.
I'm the captain
Whether
now.
Wells and I liked it or not, we had no alternative but to follow along.
I mean, I guess he is technically. Supra is the captain.
Yeah.
We're gonna get this day. Sears, get that merch. Get that merch. Well, I'm down to my ice and my marshmallow. And, I don't know if I can really eat this marshmallow. I mean, it is like actual fluff. Like, I bought the fluff, but it's not.
Right, yeah. Some booze fluff.
Take it easy, Wells.
Wait a minute.
Did you hear something?
No, it's just the ready
Evan,
wind.
can you give me the timestamp we're at?
So I'm not sure if I'm at the right spot. I'm at 1507.
Okay.
Give me some light.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I've had some ads pop up.
Oh,
so
no, I didn't know
trying
that.
to skip ahead a couple seconds, but
True. Okay, there's a fade to black around 2302. I just need to make sure I didn't miss it.
Let's hope they haven't been monkeying with it.
Looks all right.
don't monkey around with this Yeti.
Wait a minute. It's okay, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, that's not drama. That's not conflict. Wait. Don't.
Oh, never.
Shekhar, come in. Come in, Shekhar.
Uh-oh.
Shekhar, come in.
Oh.
Yep. He's getting
Shekhar,
plugged.
come in.
Ooh! Oh, they... Nice. He pulled a Quinn.
Subra only want to kill ready machine.
Subra said, we don't need a bigger expedition. They said, we're gonna need a bigger expedition.
We're gonna need a boat.
Where's Scott?
Yeah, can I get one helicopter to the Himalayas, please? You guys can fly around here, right? Certainly not too high.
Mr. Doctor, better go sleep now. Big work tomorrow. You too.
Take it easy.
You too.
Come on. Come on.
Definitely been some good hats so far, serious, for sure.
Well, no radio, no nothing.
I'll get it to work. We'll get the Shekhar police.
Oh, I hope so.
Wells, have yourself a nightcap. I'll be right back.
I already did. I already had two.
I will.
Don't mind if I do.
Wells.
I found that the radio could be repaired. Wells' case of scotch gave me an idea.
What? He has a whole case? Hopefully he's not making a Sherpa lug that around. What idea did Wells' whole case of liquor give him?
Oh my god.
A case? A case?
It's okay, I brought a Scotch guy.
A pallet? A whole pallet? Oh, drunk review in the house. What's up? Welcome.
What's up?
And of course, as I'm sure most of you know, drunk review will be getting after
I didn't hear anything.
later. About the time that we hop off, they'll be
There it is again.
getting things going over
it's
the drive-in. So be sure to check it out.
The altitude's getting on your nerves.
My nerves are all right. I better take a look.
My
Hey,
nerves
he's got a
are
cute
fine.
snowball.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay. If there was a better print of this movie, I think like some shots like that would have come off pretty well. Because the cinematographer is an Oscar-winning cinematographer, Floyd Crosby.
We move now.
Who
Don't you think you had enough last night?
he shot Screaming Skull, which we've seen.
Okay.
And that was a
And
pretty.
we
That was
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like, when you're making a snow movie, your work's kind of cut out for you. Like, snow's just pretty in general, so it's
Right.
easy to take.
We pack. Follow steps.
Well, they found tracks. That tracks.
Sura, aren't you forgetting something? No one to mention the radio machine. It's dead.
Ooh.
Wasted. Oh. See, it just
The
went
first-
away like in a video game, It's been used and then it just fades away.
The first casualty of this expedition. I guess other than the guy's wife.
The wife of Subra's brother. My sister-in-law got taken by that thing. Oh, this is making my legs tired. Yeah, I don't know if that's real Everest quality equipment that they're decked out in.
Lost the trail. Yeah, they know stop here. We go up.
We didn't, this was not the expedition that we prepped for. We're not prepared for this. There you go, drunk review. Yep, pass them out.
Is that the fade to black?
What's that? I
think I'm off again.
I might be off. I don't think it's coming quite yet.
Okay.
I need to just point you toward another version of this without commercials. I think. $23.02.
Okay, 23. I said 22.
Okay.
Even Subra could not fight the darkness. At sundown, he ordered the men to make camp.
We've kind of seen it, and that is gonna take us to our first break. So yeah, I mean, Alana, we kind of seen it, like, not good shots of it. You can't really make out the face. They've been very quick, like, blinking, you'll miss it shots, but
Yeah. I thought it kind of looked more like a mummy than a Yeti, just in that second that we saw it. But
well, we've kind of had that confusion before. In a Sasquatch movie that we watched, the last Sasquatch movie that we watched, where is it a mummy? Is it a Bigfoot? I don't really know what this thing is. So maybe we kind of have that tonight. I mean, it is interesting though, because I think the few shots we've seen, it's like, oh wait, let me get a longer look at that, but it's so brief. But I mean, what are you thinking so far? I mean,
so just as a refresher, what are these guys out here to do? Are they climbing Everest? Was that the original plan?
I think that was it. I think it was just to
Okay.
climb Everest, and now they're off on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, great point, Sears. I haven't seen any oxygen tanks so far. Been a lot of guns and a lot of scotch.
Right.
Like, I guess it's just how they did expeditions back in the day, but
but maybe those factors might be converging to create some Yeti hysteria, perhaps.
Okay.
No, there's really a Yeti here.
I hope that this is not just a figment of their imagination.
No, but that has been, at least with the most famous Yeti movie, that is kind of a thing that they play on. I mean, I say most famous, let me qualify that. And I'll just go ahead and give you the very quick breakdown on Yeti movies. Like I said, this is basically the first one, right? Like, when I say basically, what I mean is that before this, like maybe the year before this, there was a Finnish comedy. The title roughly translates to, let's see, what is it? It's Pekka and the Stump on the Snowman's Trail.
Sorry, what?
Pekka and the Stump on the Snowman's Trail. It's kind of like an Abbott and Costello meets meets a monster type of a thing, I think.
That's a mouthful of a title.
It is. Well, imagine the actual Finnish. I just gave you the English translation. I couldn't even begin to pronounce the.
Okay. It's a translate. Maybe that plays better in Finnish.
So that was a Finnish film. This was the first English language film to tackle the subject, and it kind of came about in the early 50s. This whole talk of Yetis got popularized by people that had made expeditions to Everest around that time. Like, I don't think Sir Edmund Hillary said, like, for certain I saw like a Yeti or I saw a Yeti, but I think his Sherpa was like, oh yeah, there's Yetis out there. So people were like, oh my God. So it became one of these urban legends that was going around as people started to climb Everest, or, climbing in the Himalayas. And then this kind of coincided with the 1952 re-release of King Kong, which apparently did huge like box office. And that's kind of why you started to get a bunch of like giant monster movies in the early 50s. Like, you already had sci-fi was up and running by this point, but you started to get more creature features after King Kong was like a big success. So it created the perfect storm for tonight's movie. I will not, and I think a lot of people like online, a lot of like film scholars that I've read, they won't say that this like kicked off a Yeti craze, like a Yeti subgenre craze, but it just so happened that like 3 other movies followed this movie that also, like, in the 3 following years that were like Yeti movies. So it was this.
So even if it wasn't intentional, there was kind of a trend, and this kicked it off.
Right. Exactly.
This kicked the first.
Exactly. And the second and the third, we actually saw the trailers for in the pre-roll. Sorry, my fat fingers are jumping around. So we already saw the trailers for Half Human, which was a Japanese, it was originally a Japanese film from the director of the original Godzilla, Ishiro Honda. I think it was actually like the movie he made after Godzilla. And the Americanized version, like they did with Godzilla, is Half Human, with John Carradine spliced in playing a scientist telling everybody about the Yeti. So, I haven't seen it. And then the other trailer we saw was Man Beast, the first film from Jerry Warren, who you may not know the name when I say it, but I don't may remember an awful little film by the name of Teenage Zombies.
Oh, right.
Which, remember, it was like, looked like it had been filmed in somebody's kitchen, and we were like, we could have shot this. That was like his basic level of movie, but actually, like, Man Beast looks like actually it had some production value behind it. And the creature costume, it's just like a reused like ape costume, but it looks good. I haven't seen the movie, but I think our friends at the Drunk Review might have actually watched that a couple weeks ago. I think they played it over there. So you guys maybe have seen Man Beast recently, but that's one that I have not seen. But then the most famous one came after all those, and it's the first trailer that we're going to see for our break. And I think we've shown it before, but it's for The Abominable Snowman, aka The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas, which is a 1957 film from Hammer Films, Hammer Studios, who did all the Christopher Lee Dracula movies and Peter Cushing Frankenstein movies. And Peter Cushing is like this scientist who goes on this expedition to find the Yeti. And that is one where they play a little more psychological, and they don't really, you see like a glimpse of the Yeti at the very end. But it's a pretty good movie. I mean, it does good with the psychological horror and, just being isolated out in the Himalayas, even though I think they're just on a soundstage in England somewhere. It actually is pretty solid.
They didn't even have to go to Washington.
No, they didn't. That would have, man.
You live and you learn.
You do. Well, they had, I think, fake snow is a lot cheaper than buying a bunch of airline tickets for. I mean, they had a couple American actors in the movie. That was like a thing back in those days. Like, if you're like a international production, you hire a few Americans in the cast so that it has some international appeal. So you got Forrest Tucker, he's this big brash American, like, oh, we're gonna get this Yeti, and Peter Cushing is like I don't know, and it's great. It's very good. And then the second trailer we're gonna see is for an attack. Like, so hold on, let me give you the backstory. So Abominable Snowman like caps it off, and then you don't really get any Yeti movies for a while. They don't really start to come back until the Bigfoot movie craze of the 70s, which we've talked about a few times because we've seen a few 70s Bigfoot movies on here. So in that time, you start getting some Yeti movies. So there's Shriek of the Mutilated, which is a really schlocky one where he's like in upstate New York, I think, or something like that. And then and then the other one is the second trailer we're going to see during the break, and it's for an Italian film from the late 70s. And I believe it's called Yeti, Giant of the 20th Century or something. I think that's the English title. But this is a German trailer. So and I think we've shown this before, but I love it. It's Yeti, der Schneemann, I don't know. I can't do my German. Der Schneemann, I don't know, something like that. It's wild. So, but this is like a 50-foot tall Yeti running around a city, stepping on people, like King Kong on his way through buildings. And he looks like a glam. He looks like George Michael or somebody. He looks
incredible.
great. It's a Yeti that has brown hair, so it's interesting. So two very different Yeti movie trailers that we're gonna get during this break. And then when we come back, we're gonna get into the exciting middle of the snow creature. So stick around. We'll be right back. All right.
A small band of men on a perilous search for the man-beast of Tibet, the abominable snowman of the Himalayas. You've heard of him, haven't you? The world's most shocking monster. No one's ever lived who's seen him. Be on your guard. He's coming to this theater. The abominable snowman dares you. We dare you. Dare you to see the abominable snowman of the Himalayas.
What did it look like? Tell me, what did you see, Kusang? Tell me!
I see what men must not see.
They're after me. They know it was me that did it last night. They're after me. They're after all of us. They just killed McNee.
Why say that? It was an accident.
It's me next. They know it was me. Stay here.
Wait.
Ed, I can hear you. He's coming.
You've got to understand, that isn't Shelley. It isn't anybody.
I can hear his voice.
It's in your own mind. It's just happened to me, too.
Warning, only those with stout nerves and strong hearts should risk seeing the abominable snowman of the Himalayas.
Yeti, der Schneemensch kommt. Der Gigant des 20. Jahrhunderts. Ein Riese, der die Welt in Angst und Schrecken versetzt. Ein berühmter Fotograf entdeckte riesige Fußspuren in der Arktis. Von Yeti, dem Schneemenschen. Wie durch ein Wunder war dieses Ungeheuer während Tausenden von Jahren im ewigen Eis konserviert. Was die Wissenschaft bis heute nicht schaffte, gelangt der Natur. Yeti wurde wieder zum Leben erweckt. Eine Stadt, ein ganzes Land in Panik. Yeti, der Schneemensch kommt. Ein Film, der Ihnen das Blut in den Adern gerinnen lässt. Yeti, der Schneemensch kommt. Ein Film, den Sie nicht versäumen dürfen. Demnächst in diesem Theater.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for The Abominable Snowman and Yeti, der Schneemensch kommt. however you want to say it.
They're Schneemenschkogs.
There you go. Evan's actually practicing his German.
I've been doing my Duolingo while I've been out. The snowman is coming, I think.
Oh, okay. Because they don't have that word on the end of the title card, but he's saying it, and I was like, what is?
Yeah, coming to a kino near you.
Oh, on. Well, I see. I know what kino means. You got me there. But yeah, we're back. So, again, to give you a kind of an idea of the Yeti movie landscape. Again, none of this was before any of that. So we'll see, obviously they're not taking a psychological approach here, which is good. But hopefully we do actually see more of the Yeti here in this part. And I do know the plot, again, I haven't watched the movie, but I know enough about the plot to know that it goes in an interesting direction. But we want to get that Yeti, right? That's what everybody wants. That's what we're all waiting for.
What the people want.
Give the people.
Yeti.
Yeah, again, this was a novel concept, so I'm sure people were like, what are they going to do? And translated a big guy in a parka. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? So I'm excited for this. I also, in my excitement, went ahead and made myself another cocktail, but
very nice.
Too much food dye in it this time. A little too much. It's a little too red. Although I guess in my camera now,
got some blood in the snow.
It looks a little pinker than it did before, but it's a little. I guess it's a good pink. I thought it was like blood red at first. I was like, oh no, but it's okay. It actually looks okay.
Very nice.
Again, it tastes good. I know I tweaked it, but even my tweaks, I'm like, so I'm sure yours tastes really good too.
I enjoyed it. I would make that again.
Well, I'll say cheers again to you. Yep, good. Maybe put a little bit too much banana rum in it that time. So a little too banana-y, but it's all right. Yeah, so we're about to get into the exciting middle of the snow creature. And again, so far, they were just hiking up. There was no plan to get this Yeti until it...
So this Yeti came a long way, by the look of it, right?
All the way down the mountain, yeah.
It came all the way down the mountain to snatch this lady.
Yeah, but is it like setting them up for some kind of trap? Luring them in, because then the Yeti's got food for months. He can survive. He can, yes, Yetis don't need to hibernate. Right? Like, animals. To animals that live in like just a constantly cold climate, they wouldn't have any need to hibernate, right?
Well, it depends on if you have Jack Frost there to help you when you get trapped in that log.
That's true. That's what the cartoon taught us. I almost did choose a German cartoon called Der Schneemann, which was about kind of a creepy cartoon about a snowman running around, and then he breaks into a house and decides that he's going to go into the freezer and come out during the summer so he can be out during the summer, and then he runs around and melts. And produced during the time of Nazi Germany. So I ultimately decided against that. But it's a very depressing cartoon, to say the least. Of course, the Americanized version, they put like a goofy sound. The snowman is like lisping, and it's very goofy. But I figured the animals and the Jack Frost, and it's good. Even though I'll tell you, starting to burn up in my sweater a little bit. It's getting just slightly toasty. You can see the sweat on my forehead. So, my cocktail will keep me cool. So, on that note, anything before we get into the middle of this movie yet?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little spoiled by that trailer that we just had. Any Yeti that we see from here on out, I think it's going to
It's kind of hard to top that, right? You can't really.
That's pretty amazing.
You really. I mean, that's what
I need whatever conditioner that Yeti's using.
Oh my god, that's what. So well, back in those days when they didn't ban all the aerosols and stuff, you could have amazing hair like that. You could blow it out like that. And you know, a Yeti. I mean, imagine the size of his hair dryer and his can of hairspray. I mean, that
God,
guy.
imagine the hair in his drain.
Oh, dude, the hair in his shower. Oh, gross. Don't even get me started. Yeah, I think that I think it is definitely hard to top that trailer. It's pretty good. I'll have to watch it at some point. That's what I love about like late 70s, early 80s Italian films that are just like go for broke. Like I think that was probably around the time that the King Kong remake came out. So they're like, all right, what can we do? And they just put a guy in a suit and call him a Yeti. It worked. It worked. It got me to want to see the movie. I'm in. But yeah, so but we'll get more Yeti action here, and when we get to our next break, we'll talk about the actor in the Yeti costume, who's not credited, but is actually known for some iconic 50s sci-fi films. So, fun little fact for you to tease you, and but we'll talk about that at the next break. So, I think without further ado, Evan, if you've got it queued up.
I do. We are at 23:02, right?
Yes, sir. Maybe like a second or two ahead, like a second ahead, maybe.
Okay.
We're gonna. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and get into the exciting middle of the snow creature right now.
I still think it was a pretty mean trick, leaving my tonic behind.
Tubes are all right, but the wires are broken.
Oh, now you find out, after depriving me of my... Wait a minute. All right, go ahead.
He's dead.
He's dead. Oh my god. He's dead.
I couldn't rest. A legend, the abduction of Subra's wife, the footprints, the death of the native.
But that's what it took. It
All
took
these
someone to
things
die
began
for you to be
fall
like,
into a mysterious
oh,
pattern.
okay, now I believe it. Now I believe it.
That was my Scotch guy.
Oh shit. Is that it? Oh, I like that.
Where's the woman?
Cave.
Long gone. Oh.
I wonder if this snow is like an optical. Yeah, it looked like it was. It was like superimposed on a little bit.
What we call Yeti warfare.
Yeah, man, Yetis are why avalanches happen, dude.
Looks like it's over. We were lucky, huh? I'll tell you.
We did it. It's a trap.
Well, he's probably gone.
You think that you waited out that Yeti? Really? You think you waited out the Yeti?
You think? You know what they like to say, as patient as a Yeti.
I heard many people say that.
I am seeing the oxygen masks now.
Okay. guess they're. I mean, I was gonna say, if anything, this is getting them up closer to the top faster than they would have gone. You know.
Come on,
maybe you don't want to speed run Everest.
Right. Yeah. That's climbing Everest has become so passé. Like everybody's done it. You need some kind of new twist on it. So here's my new business idea. I dress up in a Yeti costume, and you chase me up the mountain. Everybody's climbed Everest, but nobody's chased a Yeti.
Storm come.
That's how you got that famous Bigfoot film.
For just $99.99 a day. I'm cheap.
I'm cheap. Yetis in Australia, Jenna? Really? That is wild. Huh. I'd like to meet an Australian Yeti.
Look, over there. Cave.
How long will it take us to get down there?
1 hour, maybe 2. You go there, Micah.
Yes, Sears, they heard you. That's right.
Do they call them Yetis in Australia, or is it like you know, there's like different regional kind of stuff. Like there's the what is it, like the skunk ape? That's basically a Yeti, right?
I mean, that's where the broad, like, you know, Bigfoot, Sasquatch kind of, that whole classification, they're considered in the same family. Yeah, they are considered a family. Because they're kind of the same, but they're kind of different depending on where you're at. God, so much hiking, dude. It's really is making me tired. Okay, I like that. Where is this, Bronson Canyon? This looks a lot like Bronson Canyon.
Have we seen this cave before?
It's not the same cave, I don't think, but it looks like the Bronson Canyon cave that we have seen a million times. Nice toast, very good.
Lucky thing for us we found this place.
Yeah, it would have been impossible in the tents with this weather.
Supra. Yes?
Merriman. You know, you could be a very famous man.
Oh, yes?
Yeah.
Bro, Subaru's not gonna fall for your shit.
Yeti and brought him back to America alive.
Supra only want to kill Yeti.
Suppose you did kill one. How would you know it's the one you're after? If there's one Yeti, there must be a whole civilization or a whole tribe of them.
So they kill all Yeti. Supra no care.
Well, how far up do you intend to go? To the top of Everest?
Civilization?
Maybe yes.
This guy saw a naked dude climbing a mountain and said, there must be a whole civilization of these people.
Yeti, him hide when smell human. But Yeti come low country when want to steal woman. All of it want to steal woman.
That's a...
We'll go until we find Yeti. I think we go sleep now.
If anything, the fact that he kidnapped that lady is probably a strike against there being a civilization.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
Move over, Macduff.
If there were families, why would he need to go out and kidnap some random?
What's too bad?
I tried to get to that radio, but it's one of the Sherpa's packs.
I thought the radio disappeared. It was gone.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm going to forget it and go to bed.
Oh my gosh.
You you light a fire in a cave?
Would that burn up all the oxygen?
Like fill the room with smoke?
This building, Tara, my woman.
It's drafty in here.
Tara.
Oh no.
Yeah, they bring Tara here. We go find Tara. Tara!
Well,
I
at least they're
realized
close.
that the snow creature was not just a legend.
Oh, narrator's back.
I consoled myself with the thought that finding one would more than compensate for my failure as a botanist.
Wait, so he's a botanist? Okay, I missed the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah, I guess there's something about moss.
Subra was a man possessed. He split the party, ordering.
That's why he needed all those guns, because he's a botanist.
If you enjoy emphysema, yeah, Lana. Whoa.
Oh.
Now, this place gives me the creeps. It's not the most cheerful place in the world. It's only an animal of some kind. Subra! What is it?
Mountain Blue. Let's go.
Yeah, Sears, I think technically this would be City Slickers 1. This is like a prequel to City Slickers. So this would technically be City Slickers 1, and then City Slickers 1 would be City Slickers 2, and then City Slickers 2 would be City Slickers 3. So then there would be 3 City Slickers movies.
Greg Turkington's gonna come after you.
For doing his bit. Oh, wait, what?
Whoa.
What?
Tara!
What?
Oh, found him.
Is he? What is he? Oh, okay. Ah! Wait.
What?
He taking himself out?
Gonna collapse the cave?
I guess so.
Smoke bomb.
He's only stunned.
Whoa, look at that. The
dead.
size of that mitt. That's a big mitt.
I'll give him a hypo to keep him quiet.
A hypo?
Get a tarpaulin. We'll carry him in that.
You're gonna need like
Go
10
on.
hypos, buddy.
We found that the female and child of the snow creature had been killed.
You're gonna
by
trank the
cave.
Yeti and drag him down the mountain.
We held Subra and Leva at gunpoint and ordered them to carry the creature back to the entrance of the cave to meet the rest of the Sherpas.
Tell your men to put up their hands. Wells, get that gun. One false move and I'll shoot. Tell that man to put the radio down.
Wayne's in the house.
Try to get the Chekhov police.
Up Wayne.
Unable to establish contact with Shekar, we started down.
Now I've had enough of this nonsense. We're getting that moss, and that's final.
We've had our fun. Time to get back to this serious work. Science. And then a werewolf shows up and bites him right as he's about to get this rare plant, and then he becomes the Werewolf of California.
Ooh.
Just ripping off the plot of that's Werewolf of London from 1935. This botanist goes to Tibet, gets bitten by a werewolf right as he's about to get this rare plant, and then when he comes back to London, is a werewolf. Pretty good movie. It's the first, came before the Wolfman, so it's it does some interesting things. And the whole Tibet thing at the beginning is fun.
Wells and I took turns watching to make certain that nothing went wrong.
Yeah, why would a botanist bring a tranquilizer? That's a very good point, Kathy.
He's got a whole case of them. The Scotch guy does.
Of course, it just goes together like scotch and hypos. Ah!
Uh-oh.
Damn! Get the hypo. Get the hypos. Jesus. Yes, seriously, they do a lot of camping.
We managed to keep the creature in a semi-conscious state, allowing him to come to only enough to take food.
Big boy gotta eat.
So on the 5th day, we reached the low land region.
What do you
Well, they're
feed?
not monsters. They're allowing him to eat.
Right. Well, what do you feed a
On the
Yeti?
7th
That's my
day,
question.
As we were nearing the town
Well, I mean, what do they
Shekar,
bring along?
People
I decided
food
to herd the
cannot
natives
be
straight to
good
the
for a
police.
Yeti's digestive system. I mean, let's be real. It's like feeding a dog human food. It's just not gonna.
Cody Foundation, Los Angeles, California. Hi.
Semi-conscious. That Yeti's just gonna be farting the whole way down the mountain.
Mr. Corey Jr.
Cody Jr. はい。こっちへ回してください。はい。As I said, your foundation was granted permission to explore the Himalayas. Your discovery is of a very unusual nature, but it belongs to you, and you are free to do with it as you wish.
Wow.
The inspector kept repeating how friendly his country was and how it welcomed scientists, explorers, and so on.
I am sure you will accept my
Get this thing out of here.
apology, and the natives will be held in custody here for taking the law into their own hands.
What?
Thank you. By the way, can I keep the creature here until I can arrange for his transportation?
Of course.
Of course, he'll have to be fed. And could you give him an injection every 6 hours?
Yes, we shall do that.
Yeah, we'll do whatever you want.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
all the
way,
heavy
Your guide
lifting.
wishes to speak with you.
No conflict.
Yes.
We'll send him in.
Great.
Take the Yeti. We'll take care of the Sherpas. They did a bad thing.
Subra no understand law. No can say if this Yeti steal my woman. Nobody know.
Inspector Karma, I won't prefer charges against these people.
Well, I hope not.
Thank you, Mr. Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, all conflict just right out the window.
Hi. Hi. Your telephone call. Will you take it in the next room?
Oh, fine. Come on, boss.
Hi. 向こうへ回してくれ。はい。
Yes, that's the idea. And please send the refrigerator unit as quickly as possible. Fine, fine.
You're gonna
I'm
stick
leaving
this
for Bombay
Yeti in a
immediately
fridge.
to take care of all the arrangements. You can reach me there, let's see, and care of the TWA.
He likes to be cold.
Well, good. Oh, would you please call my wife and tell her I'll be home soon? Good, thank you.
You call my wife. I'm not. I've got a phone right here, but I'm not gonna do it. The charges, obviously.
Well, I don't like
That's
the whole
super
thing.
long distance.
What do you mean?
We're only like halfway through this movie. Where is this? Is the Yeti gonna take his wife or something?
And we should split that money between us.
We can only be so lucky.
Well, we should sell him. And the photograph, do what you want with it. It's for the creature. He's going to the Corey Foundation where he belongs.
You've just got no business sense. An opportunity like this comes once in a lifetime, and you don't...
Did your telephone call come out all right?
Oh, yes, thank you. Clear as a bell.
What are you gonna do?
I
Put
have
him
to
in
leave
a.
for Bombay right away, but I'll be back
Put him
in
in
a few
some kind of
days.
amusement
You see
park?
that nobody comes near the creature, including Mr. Wells.
We're gonna send this Yeti to college.
Send him to college or send him to
According to this case,
Yeti
your temperature
World,
control
Yeti
unit should be
Land.
here on our cargo flight.
Yeti University.
Now, the cable says to handle it with the utmost care. Yes, it's very delicate. We'll have to rush it to Shekar. I've already made all the arrangements to send it and the documents to you. And we'll take care of all other formalities.
What
Thank you
is
very
this?
much.
Everybody's. This is driving me crazy, honestly. And I believe Evan the next 44, 55.
Okay.
We followed your instructions. The injections worked fine. Here he is.
Here he is. We can barely see
Now,
him.
let's see. This unit will keep the motor running en route. This is the temperature control.
We've got him all doped up. He loves it.
He's loving it in there. Look at him. He's so happy.
You American, manufacturing a contraption like this on a phone call. Well, I better be going.
He just break right out of this, man.
Have a good trip back to California.
Look at how tall he is. But that wasn't it, was it?
No, we've got minutes.
Saw this shot earlier. I don't know, it's so strange. There's just such an absence of conflict in this movie. It's driving me bonkers. I cannot stand
Everything's just going great. It's just very...
Okay, sure thing. I've got no problem with you, buddy.
We can do that. What else can we do for you?
Let me take care of that.
I was watching Death Proof this afternoon, the Tarantino film.
Oh yeah.
And the end of that almost felt kind of the same way. Like I kept waiting for the bad guy to regain the upper hand, but he just never does. Those ladies just beat him to death. That's the end of the movie.
That sounds like a Tarantino movie to me.
It sure was.
I sent him ahead on a cargo plane. Really? Which one of you is Dr. Parrish? Lion.
Hold on to the pretty girl, Doctor, and give us a big smile.
Thank you. I'm botanical doctor. You heard the story about the snowman? Well, just a minute. I just got here. I haven't even talked to my wife.
Now, gentlemen, you can read.
I have to tell her about the snowman first.
Dr. Frank Parrish. Dr. Frank Parrish. Please report to the customs warehouse.
Which way is it?
Uh-oh, customs. They didn't consider that little part of the deal, did they? They gotta get this Yeti through customs.
We gotta sneak this Yeti through customs.
This giant fridge with this living creature inside.
Mr. Corey, what do you think of it?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I see where you classify your import as a snow creature. That's right. Well, it's necessary that we clarify its immigration status.
What?
Immigration status? I don't understand. Well, the question is it a beast or a man? Well, he's not human, if that's what you mean.
He doesn't have a passport.
What?
Oh, yes, he's my photographer.
What?
This article came to our attention. Mr. Well refers to your discovery as a snowman.
A snowman. That's my favorite pronunciation. Snowman.
Well, that's ridiculous. Wells is a photographer. He's reaching for sensationalism. This creature is definitely not human.
Mr. Fleet, certainly your department isn't going to take this photographer's word literally.
Well, this is a very unusual case.
This is a very unusual find. Do you realize what this means to science?
That's why our department was interested enough to contact a prominent anthropologist, Dr. Lewis.
Very unusual movie.
Of course, I've heard of him. He should be well qualified to substantiate Dr. Parrish.
Unfortunately, he can't be here until 7 o'clock tonight. You will be in my office at 7 o'clock.
Of course.
This will have to stay in the warehouse until then. We studied the instructions on the refrigerator to be properly connected. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait. We'll see you at 7. Come on, Doc.
Is it here, then? Yeah, that's it. That's gonna take us to our second break. So we are 2/3 of the way through the snow creature, and I mean, I wasn't expecting that little bit, but I'll go ahead and add before we get into that. What are we thinking so far, Evan?
So this feels a little like usually when we get a Yeti movie, we get a monster movie, you kind of know what to expect. Like they're going to be hunting the thing's hunting them. There's a big climax, and then that's the end of the movie.
Right.
We're halfway, and
we're over halfway.
We're over halfway. We're 2/3 of the way. We've got the Yeti's on ice. They got him. So
yeah, they got him. He's pretty safely locked in that fridge. Looks like.
Yeah, I don't know how I guess he'll probably break out or something, but I don't if we're watching a Yeti movie, I kind of want to be in a cold place, and we're going back to America.
Well, and this is where it kind of mirrors King Kong in that sense of they get him, they get the beast, and then they bring him back to America to be exploited, and then inevitably it all goes wrong. I guess what surprised me there, that last little end part, was that we suddenly got into this whole idea of this Yeti's immigration status.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. They've been playing with these like ethics ideas around this Yeti, which is just kind of like it's a kind of a strange direction to take this, because like there was the thing before where they were talking about, how do you know that this is the Yeti that got your wife?
Yeah, like
this
playing devil's advocate. Like what?
This could be an innocent Yeti, just and now they're talking about the conflict. So here's your conflict, Garrett. The conflict is, do we treat this Yeti as a monster or as a real person?
What a dilemma. It's funny though. Like it is the last thing I would have expected. You're right. Like we've had no conflict, and then that's the conflict is this snow creature going to be able to immigrate to the United States? Is it going to get, like what? I'm
Does
sorry.
the Yeti have human rights?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting into some very relevant territory all of a sudden with this.
Can we get the Supreme Court to rule on the personhood of a Yeti?
I don't think they want to wade into that one anytime soon. That's too controversial. We'd never last after that debate.
Too much of a political hot potato. We got to kick that back down to the lower court.
I don't even. Let's not even get into the whole Yeti law. You don't even want to know about all the lawsuits going on with Yetis right now. No, but it is very interesting because this is not a direction that you would have thought that it would go in, and I'm interested to see how it plays out. Because if he's not fully immigrated, and then he goes on the run, and then hot button issues that this 7-year-old movie is suddenly getting into.
Get deported.
This is wild. I love it. I was not expecting the movie to go in this direction. Because, King Kong, they just take him right over. Like, ape, cool, exhibit, bring him over, we don't care. Now it's like, hold on a minute, we got to determine the status of this. Oh, just what is this? I'm like, all right, hey, I'm in it. I've been very bored by this movie, but that got me. I'm hooked now. I want to know how this plays out.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, no, that was great. So, and again, speaking of the writers, because obviously they're the ones that are crafting this ridiculous tale that lacks conflict, but then the conflict that is there is so like petty. It's not even. It's just so it's ridiculous. But I guess he's a co-writer on this. I know some other movies, but actually the son of the director, the son of W. Lee Wilder, Miles Wilder, was the co-writer of this, and
from the nephew of
Billy Wilder, from the nephew of Billy Wilder. That's right. And he actually wrote like a lot of the movies that his dad directed and produced, or co-wrote them with a writing partner.
That's nice. Little father-son team.
Yeah, it's you call it nepotism, call it just family partnership, call it what you want. It's the family business, right? But I can tell you that W. Lee and Billy, apparently they were estranged. They did not get along. The joking quote from W. Lee about Billy was, he was a dull son of a bitch. So, about one. Wow. It sounds like one thing one brother would say about another. But yeah, but whereas Billy was making these Oscar-nominated, like, highly acclaimed movies, W. Lee was making... He started out with noirs and, like, crime dramas, then moved into sci-fi. And there were a couple... before tonight's movie that he did Phantom from Space and Killers from Space. So I had to make sure I had to get those titles right because they're so similar that it's just like, okay. Phantom from Space, Killer from Space, both co-written by his son. Also did a Lon Chaney Jr. movie called Manfish, which despite that title is actually an adaptation, like more modern adaptation of some Edgar Allan Poe stories, like The Gold Bug and Telltale Heart, apparently. It's not like a horror movie, it's more of like an action adventure, but it's got Lon Chaney, and it's in color. Maybe public domain? That's the thing, there's a couple of other W. Lee Wilder movies. Those sci-fi movies may or may not be public domain. So we'll get to see more of his movies. Hopefully we'll talk about him more in the future.
W. Lee on the radar.
W. Lee on the radar. This is our first film of his, but yeah, we'll probably see more. And more Miles, which Miles went on to write a bunch of TV comedy. And I think most prominently Dukes of Hazzard, which he wrote and produced. Does that have a narrator? Does Dukes of Hazzard have a narrator? Or is it just...
Doesn't it like... Looks like
them Duke boys are at it again. That's the joke,
at it again.
Right? So maybe that's just a Miles Wilder special is the narrator. Just when in doubt, narrator out. That works. But yeah,
we'll narrate our way out of this mess.
Yeah, I mean that like the narration in tonight's movie does not fit. It's like they realized it was dragging on too long, because even with the narration, it was dragging on.
Yeah.
So
it could have been a very atmospheric, very quiet movie.
It would have been incredibly quiet.
I don't know if that would have been better.
Yeah, I don't know. And we got to see a little more of the Yeti in this part, so still not like a great shot.
I like his little window, and it looks like either somebody on the outside has like rubbed a little circle in the glass, or the Yeti has done that on the inside so he can see out.
He's gonna break his way out, more than likely. I mean, dude, it's funny because I think my favorite part about the Yeti so far is his giant mitten hand. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, the giant mitten hands, but those are pretty great.
They're pretty big. He's got some big paws.
Yeah, I mean, and the costume here, again, hopefully we'll get a better look. But the man behind the costume, which people really weren't sure for a while, because he's uncredited. So people weren't sure who played the Yeti. But it turned out to be a guy who was known for playing some other sci-fi heavies. Before tonight's movie, the most prominent role that this actor, whose name is Locke Martin or Locks Martin, I think one of the other, there's some contemporary articles from his time which call him Locks, and apparently some other people said he maybe went by Locks, but in other things he's credited as Locke. So take that for what you will. But he's most famous for his role of Gort the Robot in The Day the Earth Stood Still from 1951. Which I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I haven't seen it, but I think I know what you're talking about.
It's very early in the sci-fi. 1951. And it was from 20th Century Fox, so big studio sci-fi film, and Locke plays a alien robot who is obviously super tall, and he looks metal, but his suit is kind of made out of some kind of flexible rubber. But he apparently didn't he wasn't very strong, so there's scenes where he's carrying people, but apparently they're on wires because he literally could not was not strong enough to
Oh no.
Carry actors. So so that's the first trailer that we're gonna see is The Day the Earth Stood Still. And the second is he's not quite as identifiable, but he plays one of the big heavies in the sci-fi film Invaders from Mars, the original, the remakes, or at least one remake, but from 1953. And he plays like this, big green Martian who's going and picking people up and throwing them around. And, so you get to, in both of these trailers, you get to see him in action, obviously, because he's a big guy playing a monster. So he's fun to watch. Pay attention to his like costume. If you can catch him in the Invaders from Mars trailer, there's another kind of person who's dressed similar, but I think you can kind of tell which one's taller is Lox. But these were two pretty big sci-fi movies, and I believe, might be wrong, but I believe that Invaders from Mars was shot in super Cinecolor. So you know how much we love our Cinecolor. That was you know what super Cinecolor got you.
It's even more Cinecolor.
Well, it was able.
What does it get you?
Green.
Oh, okay. They finally added green.
They added green, and it was super Cinecolor.
It's not just blue.
But this trailer looks beautiful. You guys, I mean, because the movie, I think, kind of for a while was thought maybe it was public domain, but it's not, and so it's been through all these restorations. And this trailer, it's a very like visual, like it's wild. Like it's a great trailer. So both these trailers are pretty good. Both these movies are pretty good. So we're gonna enjoy these two Lock Martin trailers, and then when we come back, we're gonna get into the exciting conclusion of Snow Creatures. So stick around, we'll be right back.
We interrupt this program to give you a bulletin just received from one of our naval units at sea. A large object traveling at supersonic speed is headed over the North Atlantic toward the east coast of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Drew Pearson. We bring you this special radio television broadcast in order to give you the very latest information on an amazing phenomenon, the arrival of a space ship in Washington. The Army has taken every precaution to meet any emergency which may develop. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen, I think something is happening.
I came here to give you these facts. But if you threaten to extend your violence, this earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
But he's a robot. Without you, what could he do?
There's no limit to what he could do. He could destroy the Earth.
All vehicles, close in. Let's go.
Invaders from Mars. He saw them land from outer space. He saw them capture innocent people only to destroy. Father turned against son. People changed into strange, weird animals. A general of the army becomes a saboteur. Trusted police turned into arsonists. The boy's parents changed into killers.
But nobody's getting anywhere out there. Nobody can locate anything. Anybody. The Martians. We've got to stop them.
Invaders from Mars, capturing humans at will for their own sinister purposes, turning them into diabolical instruments of destruction. Invaders from Mars, weird, fantastic beings of a superintelligence, ruling a race of synthetic humans and pitting them against mankind's dream to conquer the universe.
Come on, step on it. Search every tunnel. We gotta find Ronaldo and the kid. When the colonel gives a signal, get back here on the double.
And we are back. So that was the trailers for The Day the Earth Stood Still and Invaders from Mars. Both early sci-fi films and a lot of fun.
Oh, did I read that right? Was Leif Erikson in that movie?
Oh, yeah, there was an actor from this time named Leif Erikson.
Oh, great. He's got a whole day named after him.
Yeah, who knew? Yeah, I see that always cracked me up because he pops up in a few Universal horror movies. So whenever that whole joke about Leif Erikson Day and all that, you know, I was just like, wait, what? And I did not understand it. I was very, needless to say, I was very confused. But yeah, two fun sci-fi movies, and yeah, Lock Martin playing aliens in both of those. And there was like a little bit of a discourse around the suit that he wore in that movie and whether part of it was repurposed for the suit in this movie. On the Classic Horror Film Board, which is kind of like it's a forum that a bunch of like fans of the really old classic monster movies are on. Maybe some of you guys are on there. But it's always good for me to like go there to do a little research because sometimes they'll have something, some tidbit or something that you didn't know. And there was a lot of debate about, could the costume and, where did it come from and all this stuff. And there's never, as with many of the much of the discourse on there, there's never any definitive conclusions because there's nobody alive that you can ask about these things. You can maybe find a newspaper article that kind of doesn't really clear anything up, but gives you a little more context. He narrows things down a little bit, but you never get any answers. So it's always fun. But it's we still haven't seen the costume in its glory, so I don't know. I think we've still.
Hey, it's usually been from far away, or through something, through a cloud or through glass.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, if he's gonna break out here in this third act, which if there's ever a time for him to go on rampage, it would be now. You would hope.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Rampage now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's literally the choice. It's one or the other. Hold your peace. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what this Yeti does. Again, it's the third act of these movies is always, things kind of. Where we left off was the Yeti was not getting through immigration.
Right,
That's
yeah, they
where
just
we
took him
left
to Ellis Island.
They're saying, wait a minute, hold on. This isn't an animal. This is a person. Okay, we have to process this person. You can't just bring a person out of the mountains to another country and go put them on exhibit or whatever the hell you want to do.
Bring me your tired, you're sick, your Yetis.
And I mean, again, this guy said, when they said, what are you importing? And he said, Yetis. And so imagine that, oh, what do you do? I'm in the business of importing and exporting Yetis.
I've got one Yeti to claim.
Just one. I send him around. I mean, again, it's just kind of, you know, the sideshow thing. Like King Kong, you know, they put him on stage once and he goes crazy. He breaks loose. He goes on a rampage. You know, like he's just in an auditorium, like full of people, right? Mighty Joe Young, like which, not the 90s. There was a 90s version, but before that, there was a 40s version, the original. And they take this. He's not as big as Kong, but he's still this, you know, big claymation ape. And they put him in a nightclub, and they have him perform in this nightclub with like cowboys and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's like fun. It's like, oh, okay, that's like, hey, okay.
I mean,
so maybe
that's basically this guy's plan, right? He's just gonna sell them,
right? I mean, and then you know, yeah, you're probably you're gonna get the highest offer from some sleazy nightclub owner who's just gonna put him in the middle of some show.
I've got the top new act.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. But anything before we get into it, Evan?
Yeah, I want to see this Yeti dance topless.
Oh, well, yeah. If he's on stage, then we might. We don't know what what tricks he has up his sleeve. We haven't seen what he can do yet. So maybe
he's hooked on the hypos. He's desperate.
True. Yeah, he's not going to be ready in performing shape. He's not going to be stage ready.
Just kidding. He's just dancing his way through Yeti University.
Well, whether you're like a bad college student or a strung out rock star, either way, you're drug addled and you're just waltzing your way through whatever people are expecting of you. So, yeah, it's kind of sad. I feel bad for this Yeti. So we'll see how this story shakes out. Maybe he can come. Maybe he can get back home.
Yeah,
it seems unlikely, but I'm gonna hold out hope.
Free Yeti.
Free Yeti. On that note, Evan, if you've got it queued up.
Yep.
All right, then we're going to go ahead and get into the exciting conclusion of Snow Creature right now.
What an unusual specimen.
You think this Yeti's going to pass the citizenship test?
Specimen, as you call it, as not being human. Dr. Perry.
He was just waiting for this opportunity.
Of course. I'm a little early. Well, that's all right. Dr. Parrish, Dr. DuPont.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do, Doctor?
Has Mr. Corey been here?
Not yet. Won't you sit down?
Well, thank you.
Cigarette?
Oh, thank you.
What
Thank
an
you.
unusual find for a botanist to make.
Yes, it is.
And you say you also saw a female and a child?
So we processed your claim, and he's all good to go. Everything's fine.
No, not yet. Well, we will as soon as Mr. Corey arrives.
He said he saw a female and a child? What? What?
I guess that was what was in the cave?
I thought it was the wife of...
That's what I thought too, but...
He was. I have to determine whether his brain is a calculating brain.
Oh, Wayne, we saw that trailer earlier. It was great. The Yeti der Schneemann.
Definite classification.
We loved it. It was our favorite thing.
From what we know of these, shall I say, snow creatures, they have been a legend.
He said it.
We have seen abstract drawings and heard stories of these nomads, but they were always associated with human traits.
Yeah, seriously, it was an Italian movie, but it was a German trailer. Don't you love the hoops? Oh my God, look at him moving that thing around. Bro, call somebody. Don't just look at it. Passport. I don't need no stinking passport. That was pretty brutal. Oh, he's okay. He just roughhoused with him a little bit.
Excuse me.
It's getting so bored in there. I just want to play a little.
What? How?
Let's wrestle.
We'll be right over.
He's got to get all that energy.
What? Let's get over to the warehouse.
Uh-oh. They were just keeping
Is
it in the
your
warehouse?
Yeti accumulated?
And it fell. He got out and I started to run.
Where else are you gonna put him?
A sight I'll never forget. He come at me and
He's not coming home with me.
I'm Lieutenant Dunbar, please. This is Dr. DuPont, this is Dr. Parrish.
What's this all about?
Lieutenant Dunbar's gonna clear this right up. Whoa, okay. Why are we zooming in? What? Oh my god. Why?
He's going that way. Or did he just attack somebody? Oh, he's claimed another woman. That's, oh, no.
Jesus. Well, drunk review, I hate to tell you, but Sears already claimed dibs on any lost money, so I can't. You have to sort those rules out amongst yourselves, but dibs is usually respected, but I stay out. I stay out of these.
That's all, Evan. Send it out right away.
Of these decisions.
Would you come with me a moment, Doctor?
Certainly.
I didn't catch that. He put on his glasses to answer the phone.
Car 61. Come in, Lieutenant Dunbar. Car 61.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Come in,
Really bad eyesight.
Dunbar, go ahead.
Body of a girl found in the alley back of 1220 Coast Street. Repeat. In alley back of 1220 Coast Street. Over.
Got it. Out.
Out.
Doctor, I better come along. I think you'd better. Oh, Mr. Fleet. When Mr. Corey gets here, brief him on everything, will you? I'll see you later.
I guess so, Sears. Wink, drunk review. Yep.
Finders, keepers. So imagine if the Bigfoot tape, I can't remember what you know what it's called.
Yeah, yeah, the Patterson.
Imagine, yeah, imagine if the Patterson film was just in New York City.
He's a Yeti runner. There's a Bigfoot running around New York City. Certainly get people's attention. Maybe it wasn't actually. People just think it was an actor in a costume.
Yeah.
Even in those days.
Yeah, it's only believable because they thought, well, nobody's gonna walk out there in that whole get-up.
I thought you were through for the day. Looked that way, didn't it? Any news from the wife? Not yet. The mother-in-law's still with her. Something wrong? My wife and I are having a baby, that's all. Oh, is that all?
Your wife's having a baby, and you've been running around catching Yetis.
He's got his priorities sorted.
So while his wife is pregnant, let me get this straight. While she was pregnant, he went to the Himalayas to go on this botany fucking research bullshit, and conveniently be back when she's,
3 miles.
through all the hard stuff.
Yeah, come on. Well, it's strange
Wow. Too bad you saw this movie too late, Evan. You could have got some ideas.
Right, yeah.
Late, hardly anybody on the streets.
It's terrible.
He's got to be
What
stopped.
a terrible father this guy is.
That's not my problem. She's the one with the baby.
Is there something else you can tell us about him, Doctor? His mentality, his habits, something? Well, he's acclimated.
And you're telling me you're financing this expedition entirely out of your own pocket.
I know all that.
Send out this bulletin to all radio stations and newspapers. Tell everyone to stay off the streets and remain calm. That goes for everybody. Right.
Get off the streets. There's a Yeti on the loose.
Well, what do we do now? There's nothing we can do.
Loose Yeti.
Except wait for him to show up again.
Attention all citizens.
Yep, there it is.
This is an urgent public service bulletin from your police department. A dangerous killer beast is at large. You are asked to remain indoors. This is an urgent public service bulletin to all citizens. A dangerous killer
They needed
beast is at large.
like thing to like really scare you before you see that, dude. Probably so many people are like, who got a hold of the emergency alert system? What kind of prank is this?
Conrad just told me there's a Yeti on the loose.
This Yeti is a fucking... He's a beast. He's a creature.
See how atmospheric this is? Why don't they have somebody narrating over this?
Where's the narration? I demand to know what's happening right now.
Oh, Lord, please. Don't.
Now get out of here.
But you don't understand. Give me a chance.
Oh, there's some misdirection.
I'm sick of listening to your words.
But Jesus.
Now you stay away from me.
I'm
And if
sick
I
of
never see
listening
you
to your
again,
words.
It'll be too soon. Now get out of here.
But.
Oh. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh my god, this is some horror movie shit.
Ooh. Suddenly a Yeti.
Yeti interstage left. Or sorry, interstage right, exit stage left. Ah! Oh, she got away, thank God.
That was a close one.
There's a Yeti out there.
Got it. Who's on the job? Right. He's showing up again. Where? He chased a girl near an all-night pharmacy. Let's see, he started here, then he appeared here, and now, right here, the pharmacy. He's got to be within that triangle.
It's on the move.
We'll go get him.
Instruct all units in sectors 15 and 16 to converge at area 11.
Come on, call the cars.
Right.
Call the cars.
How about some more coffee, Doctor? Yeah. Charlie, you got any more coffee?
Hey, Doc, you want some more coffee? Charlie! I don't know, Wayne. They're seeming pretty incompetent so far, so I don't know if this creature can be stopped. Uh-oh, the meat packing plant. Of course, this is where the creature would strike next.
Oh yes, the Yeti's natural habitat.
You gotta go get him some lamb or some goat, or what's usually on the range around him. I mean, this would be good eats for him.
Yeah, I mean,
he'd be in heaven. Now we know this is Yeti food.
Oh, there he goes.
What do you just take like a little duck or something? Wait, what?
He didn't want to impose. Remember, this is a movie about ethics. Only taking what he needs. Like those women.
Right, of course, of course. He broke into the pharmacy. He needs more hypos. That's right, Sears. That's, of course, the next stop. Yeah. Look at him lording over all that.
Why don't you go to bed? It's getting pretty late.
I said Rocky
Okay, I'll try
can't
to check
be
with you later. Goodbye.
punching this meat. This is my meat now.
What's the matter? Now I've got 2 reasons to face the floor. Yes? But that's impossible. We've got that whole area swarming with men. Are you sure? Right. What is it? What happened? This whole thing is cockeyed. These are the 3 areas. Logically, then, the 4th should be in
Outsmarted
here.
by a
But it
Yeti.
isn't. He was just spotted at a meatpacking house way over here. Well, how did he get out of that area? Isn't it covered by the police? That's a $64 question. It's a distance of almost 7 miles. And nobody's seen him from there to there. That's right.
We're dealing with a flying Yeti.
2 ways that this thing could get around. Walking and flying. He hasn't got wings.
Oh, shit.
Any normal person could hide out in a hotel, any place. This is a white elephant. Any 3-year-old child could spot it. The question is, how does he cover 7 miles without being seen?
That is wild. It's snowing in Los Angeles, of course. Oh, I know what he's doing.
Just an idea, Lieutenant, but I think I've got something. What is it? The storm drains. I don't get it. Some of those openings are big enough for 2 men to crawl into. You mean the catch basins? I think you've got something there, Doctor.
A Yeti in the storm drain.
Hell yeah, he knew exactly where to go.
Get me the city engineer at his home. What's the guy's name? Edwards, that's it, Edwards.
Back into the
The
tunnels.
Department of Public Works is right around the corner. So wake him up.
So wake him up. All right, jeez.
The drainage and sewer system of the city are a lot cooler than the external temperature.
I told you the creature had intuitive powers. He could have sensed the colder temperature. And that would explain why he was never seen from jump to jump. You have a complete chart of the storm drains?
Lieutenant...
Wait, I'm sorry, he has intuitive powers to sense the temperature?
How about the east end?
It's cooler in the storm drains.
Oh, my powers.
Cigarette? No, thanks. You know, Doctor...
You mean he
there
can
are
feel?
drains connecting these areas. We've got
He has
something to work
skin.
on.
There we are, Lieutenant.
They're doing everything they can to make this Yeti not a person. It's a person. He's a person.
Here are the spots, Doctor, right along the drain lines. Can I take this with me?
Yeah.
Thanks, Edwards. Sorry to wake you.
Well, that's all right, Lieutenant. Think nothing of it. Anything for the police department.
Wake. What? I can't.
Now, Richard, get 8 men. Issue
3
the works.
a.m.?
It shouldn't be too much.
3
Walkie-talkies,
a.m.
lamps, rubber boots, so on. Right. The first detail will start here at 11th and Grand near the warehouse. The second at Coast Street, where the girl was found. Coast. Dr. Parrish, myself, and a couple
Oh my God, they
officers
really are
will
having
start
a
here
hard
at the
time
pharmacy.
working this out, huh?
The first detail will work to the north. The second to the south. We work east.
See, you know, a movie
Times
like
in the hour, we
them
should all meet
doesn't
right
focus on. How are we gonna do this? They've already figured out the plan, and then they're going. You know, it's not
Yeah,
like.
what are the logistics of our crawling through these tunnels?
Get a big net and suppose.
Well, if we start here.
And leave word where I'll be in case the hospital calls.
Yes,
Let's go.
We're going in. Okay, are you trying to tell me that he fit through that. It's a tiny cover. I don't think the Yeti is fitting in that cover.
It's a manhole, not a Yeti hole.
Going down the tunnel.
Just a minute. Lynch?
Yes, Lieutenant.
Can you make out anything?
Not yet, Lieutenant. Proceeding south according to plan. Over.
How about you, Robert?
See, as we all know that the Yeti is naturally drinking out of a Yeti cup, of course.
Not yet, Lieutenant.
I made you a Yeti so you
Stay in
can
contact.
Yeti. It's kind of similar to the movie Indestructible Man that we saw a while ago. Evan was not there for that episode, actually.
Yeah, don't they blow up that guy or something?
They do, but then they end up in the storm drains at the end. Lon Chaney Jr. is this indestructible man, and he's like, yeah, maybe they fire a bazooka at him in the storm drain or something. But in the Los Angeles sewers, or maybe that's San
We haven't got him yet, Doctor.
I really, really hope that's how this gets resolved.
We could only be so lucky.
They hem and haw about the human rights of this Yeti and then blow him up with the bazooka.
Hell yeah.
I never noticed that tunnel over there before. It intersects this drain and empties
That's a
into
good
the main
point,
drain
Alana.
center.
If they are masters of
You two take it.
interdimensional,
We'll go this way.
like, travel, then yeah, they could fit anywhere. That's a good point. Very good point, Alana.
This Yeti could fit down your chimney.
He's in my chimney. He could be in your chimney right now. Have you checked the chimney, Evan? He's just walking. Get somebody.
There he is.
Got him. Has he got like a club?
My Yeti hidden stick.
Ah, what? These guys just like they didn't say, "Hey, look out."
I thought you saw him.
Seems to be all right.
Of course, because of course he is. Because there's no
Now that we
real
know he's in
stakes.
here, let's see where this tunnel leads to. Let's see, we're at East Entrance 7. It winds around and comes out.
Free
East
both,
Entrance
Sears. Free
8.
both.
We'll have them put the net up at East Entrance 8. Right. Lynch.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Put the net up over East Entrance 8.
Will do, Lieutenant.
Right.
Yep. Now you know who is behind
Use this
that.
collar and take him out into the
It
main
was the
tunnel.
Yeti.
Come on, sir.
That's a cool shot. I like that.
Yeah, as far as, being stuck in tunnels, it's really not too bad. Cinematography-wise.
Right, we can see. It's like if he was systematically taking them out one by one, it would be cool. But they keep going to it almost looks like the same shot of him, and he's not doing anything. It's like it looks like he's about to do something and he's not doing it. It just cuts to them walking. He looks like he's about to.
Waiting for his
Oh,
chance.
now there we go.
Oh. God.
Yeah, God, he's massive. And this is how the movie ends. We got him, and that's it. No comment. It's almost turned into like a Poverty Row, 40s movie. Everybody's just wrestling. Who do you guys think you are? The Bowery Boys? Nuh-uh. You just pump some slugs into that thing and that's it? Sears, yeah, that's true. That would have been way more exciting.
We'll do as you say, Doctor.
Yeah. I'll have Dr. DuPont give you instructions. Where
Now
to
let's
send
see
the
who this monster really is.
Dunbar.
Scooby-Doo did have a Yeti episode appearance.
Yeah, we just finished the job. What is it?
Very urgent call. Proceed immediately to Crescent and Elm. Urgent. Over.
Who gave that order? Don't you know what time it is?
There's another Yeti on the
There's
loose.
a creature waiting for you. 8 pounds, 3 ounces. A boy, Lieutenant.
Oh,
Mother and son are doing
okay.
fine. Congratulations, Pop.
Thanks a lot, Vince. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Al.
That's good, Joe.
Well, I guess that's it. Good luck. Guess I better be going.
I guess you had.
Come on, Doctor. I'll drop you off on the way.
Oh, no, you haven't got time.
Sure I have. Come on.
All right, my wife must be pretty worried by now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she
Say,
is.
Doctor,
Yeah.
What's your first name?
She don't give a fuck
Frank.
about you. You've been gone the whole time.
Maybe I'll name my kid Frank. Frank Dunbar. Sounds great. Frank.
What?
I don't know. I'm not too sure I like it.
He missed the birth.
I'm gonna name my kid after some random person I just met.
I've got quite. My wife is not going to believe this story.
My favorite thing is when you can tell that somebody thinks highly of themselves that their name is spelled in a fancy font when they're the director. And then, it's come on.
Giant letters.
Wow. My goodness.
Oh boy.
I just Keith Richards. Nobody told me Keith Richards was in this. I really messed up on my fact sheet, didn't I? Didn't catch that. I mean, the other week we had Aerosmith on the program, and now Keith Richards. What is this show turning into? Some kind of rock and roll retrospective. My goodness. Wow. Well, that was the snow creature. What did we think, Evan?
Gosh, I think that botanists lead much more exciting lives than I imagined.
Right? I mean, I guess when you're a botanist, you could just fuck off on your work and decide to go chase a Yeti instead. The botany's not really, nobody's waiting for your botany's not saving any lives, nothing special going on with your botany that can't wait, right? For some Yeti action. Get into the Yeti business. That's got to be way more profitable than botany.
Oh, gosh, Yeti science. I'm a Yeti scientist.
Right. And I mean, hey, no offense to any of our botanist watchers out there. No offense. I mean, hey, you botanists keep the world go round. Don't get me wrong. But no.
Keep studying those plants.
That's right. Yeah, stick to plants. Maybe Yetis aren't really in your purview. Maybe stick to stick to plants. Am I right? No, I think that there were some interesting ideas at play here, for sure, but the execution left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I mean, I don't love that it came back to the city. You know, I think it might have been stronger if they had just like the whole thing with the guy and the wife, like in the mutiny, like if there's always so much potential for tension when you're in like a survival situation on this, you know,
Right.
in the Himalayas, somewhere isolated like that. And I thought, you know, I feel like they probably could have milked that a little more.
Right. Yeah, they really the ingredients were there, but they did not execute them the right way. Because you're right, like the mutiny was not as exciting as it should have been. The wife, did we saw her once? Didn't we? Maybe.
Who, Tara?
No, the wife of the guy that had the baby at the end. Didn't we, when he got back, didn't we see her
Maybe.
like, briefly? Maybe. I'm not quite sure. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like, what you're saying is that if she would have been more of a character and more like upset that her husband's in all this Yeti nonsense instead of taking care of his family, I mean,
yeah, they could have done that if they were going to, you know, bring the Yeti back to the city, and have the main characters like thing is, you know, he's got this, like, what is he doing? He's got this like huge life event and he's hunting this Yeti.
Right. Yeah. You wonder if there's more to his story. What's going on with that guy? He's just got some real issues going on behind the scenes we don't know about. Yeah. No, it's funny. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of potential here, but I mean, for the first Yeti movie, certainly the costuming and all that left a lot to be desired. You know,
Kind of just looked like a guy in a big like coat,
essentially, with some hair on his face, and yeah, I mean, you know, he was harming women, like, and that's, you know, like, you know, I mean, King Kong, you know, is big enough to bust through buildings, do all this crazy stuff. This Yeti's just going around accosting women on the street, like, scumbag. Right, Alana, yeah, I mean, you know, I guess that's a good point. You know, and I'm sure this Yeti's wife was worried sick. You know, where's my husband? Where'd he go? Not that I saw a wife and child, but apparently that Yeti had a wife and child. So.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, grabbing random women at the foot of the mountain.
The relation between the parallel between the botanist, his wife having a baby versus this Yeti having a family and then being taken away from it, that's something else you could have.
Yeah.
There's stuff there. There's more. They just did not know how to create conflict, which, again, Billy Wilder's brother, Billy Wilder's nephew, you would have thought some of the talent rubbed off, but apparently not. But don't worry, we'll get more Billy Wilder's brothers films, W. Lee Wilder films, to you know, kind of parse out his filmmaking and all that. You know, again, I mean, we got a Yeti movie, right? That's
still fun. It was still a fun night.
Right. And, you know, we again, here, we don't judge. Movie good, bad, doesn't matter. We have fun either way. We definitely had fun with it.
It's all about the journey.
Exactly. And we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. I know some of you guys are already heading out. I'm gonna be yapping a little. We're gonna be yapping a little longer. But if anybody's heading out, we appreciate everybody that's tuning in tonight. I know you guys will be over to the Drunk Review drive-in, hanging out later. I see you over there. I don't know. We'll see. I try to stay awake as long as I can. But yeah, I mean, you know, we you know, we enjoyed getting some good old 1950s schlock tonight. And next week we always go like, kind of forward, backward, newer movie, older movie. And then, like I said, I also like to go on like theme. And like we did a Yeti movie last year this time, so we did a Yeti movie this year this time. So next week, the same thing. Last year this time, we celebrated Black History Month with a all-black cast horror film. What at the time was called a race film. But we watched Son of Ingagi, and it was great. I loved that movie. That was like...
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It was a good movie. It was really...
That was a movie that knew how to write characters and interesting conflicts.
And had some good tunes, too. I mean, right? All around, it kept your attention. It wasn't just characters walking for 20 minutes. So that was a really strong movie. So we're gonna do that again. We're gonna get into February next week, and celebrate Black History Month with another film with an all-black cast. And I believe, whereas Son of Ingagi, I think the director was white. I think there's a black director. With next week's film, which is entitled Midnight Shadow, which is a murder mystery film with a Swami. So. That's it's funny because anytime you get a mystic involved, you're wondering if there's gonna be any supernatural stuff. I don't know that it's gonna be supernatural, but it's definitely I've read some articles about it. It sounds really interesting. It sounds it's been characterized as a horror movie, but it looks to me like more of a mystery. But we get a lot of movies that kind of live in between. So we'll see, but I think it'll be fun. Again, Son of Ingagi was a gem. Like that, legit. That I'm not wrongly using the word gem. That was a gem. So I don't know. We'll see about Midnight Shadow. I'm hoping it's pretty good, but we have fun either way. And again, we're really happy to have Evan back tonight. Evan, I hope that Yeti
It's been
movie,
such a pleasure.
Right. I mean, it's a Sasquatch movie seemed like a good way to bring you back in here. And of course a movie that's fatherhood is a theme and family and all these things. So look at that. And don't be like that botanist.
You got to do what's right for your Yeti wife and kids.
Hey, right. Yeah, be more like the Yeti. Don't be like the botanist. I think that's what we learned. That was the takeaway from tonight's film.
That Yeti was innocent.
He was.
It was a mistaken Yet identity.
Yeah. Yes. That. What you said. I'm not even going to try to say it because I know I would say it. But yeah, no, it's great having you back in the house, and seems like you didn't wake the baby, so
I don't think so. Either that or these I can't hear through these headphones, but I guess we'll see.
Either way, mission accomplished, I think. So no, we're happy to have Evan back, and again, super stoked to get to 1,000 subscribers. And again, I was gonna do like a special stream when we hit, and maybe I'll do something next week. Because I do want to kind of hear from you guys about things that as we continue to grow, what we can do. I'm looking at trying to do a short video series, so I'm interested in hearing from you guys about topics that you would like to see covered. Again, 8, 9, 10-minute videos about classic horror, public domain horror related topics, subject matter, even just movies on their own. If you guys have things that you would like to see, I'd love to hear about it. So obviously you can comment on our videos here at Scream Stream Live, but we've also got we've got an email. If you want to email any ideas, screamstreamshow@gmail.com. It should be on our YouTube page for you to find. If you've got any ideas, but I'm going to be doing those. And in terms of, episodes, I mean, I'd like to, I don't know, I haven't really talked to Evan about this, but at some point I'd like to work in like a live call-in kind of component. Like if you guys,
sure.
Some of you guys, just kind of the standard, like pop in, let us know what you think of the movie. Nothing too, crazy. But if you guys are interested in, you're on the air.
You're on Stream Live. Am I live?
Yeah, you are, and if you just want to get on the horn and mess around with us, that's fun too. It's all in good fun here at the Scream Stream. But yeah, I mean, we're I'm open to ideas to keep having a good time, and because we've been doing this 3 years, and you can always find ways to just tweak and improve. We've certainly grown over even the past year. In terms, I mean, we weren't doing this single camera switching around. Yeah, this was, all part of this year's growth. So yeah, working in call-in segments, doing other things. We want to hear from you guys. But we're excited. And, again, at February, we've got 2 more episodes this season. Then we'll be taking a break, and then we'll be starting our 13th season. And so that,
I didn't even realize. Yeah.
And we'll be starting our 4th year. So we'll have to celebrate in some special ways. But again, if we can kind of bring you guys some new things as we get into our 4th year, we'd love to do that. So maybe, again, things aren't, won't be incorporated quickly, but we, as we get into March, things, if we can kind of have fun, change things up a little bit, or just, have some extra fun, let us know. We're trying to find ways to do that. But again, we always just have fun here when we're watching these public domain horror movies and cracking jokes and having a good time. So appreciate everybody watching tonight. Appreciate Evan being back here with us. Of course, everybody in the chat, Alana, Kathy, Sears, Joe, Drunk Review, Jenna, Wayne. There's so many. I like, again, it's great. I love it. You guys, the chat, when the chat is going, it keeps it very interesting. So I'm loving it. So keep it up. You guys are doing the good work. You're doing the Lord's work. So we really appreciate it. Yeah, just appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight. So tomorrow, Saturday Night Shocker, it's Italian horror. So it'll be, I already got it made, I already got it up. It'll be Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory, Nightmare Castle, and Lady Frankenstein. Viewer discretion advised for Lady Frankenstein, as most of you probably know. But that'll be a lot of fun. So you guys can tune in tomorrow for that. Anything before we sign off tonight, Evan?
It's been just so good to be back. I gotta say, there's no place like home.
Wow. Well, on that note, until next week, sweet screams, everybody.
And to all, a good fright.
Good to hear you say that again.
It's good to say that. Good to hear me say that.